Going into January this year, the Celtics were 17-19 and 9th in the East. They played some unattractive basketball, Ime Udoka's seat was starting to heat up, and there were calls for them to break up the Jays. Now, I made a video talking about why this was all an overreaction, but I didn't quite expect this turnaround. At the time of recording, they are 47-29 and 1 game out of the 1 seed. A lot of this 180 was as the result of Tatum going supernova over the past few months, especially with his scoring. This is not completely new though. For the past 2 seasons, Tatum has ramped up his scoring post the All-Star break. Last year, his scoring went from 33.4 to 37.4 points per 100, and this season it's gone from 34.9 to 42.2 points per 100. That's an average of a 5.7 points per 100 increase in scoring post All-Star break over the past 2 seasons. On the surface level, it looks like he's ascended into the very upper tier of scorers in the league. But what specifically about his game has allowed him to make that jump? Well, that's what we'll be talking about in this video. Tatum has really come along during the second half of the season. Before January 1st, he was scoring 33.8 points per 100. After January 1st, that's gone up to 39.4 points per 100. His shots and shot profile is basically the same. He shot 28.3 shots per 100 before January 1st and is shooting 28 since then. He's also shooting 11.2 threes per 100 last year and is now shooting 12.3. However, his true shooting has gone up by 8.8%. It's gone from 53.1% to 61.9% since the beginning of the year. He is an excellent finisher through contact and can ride bumps and nudges on his way to the rim. He's shooting over 66% on shots in the restricted area. Here he shows his speed before bringing out the Eurostep and getting off this tough finish. If he has any sort of momentum on his drives, his dribble moves are that much more potent, and that really helps him get to the hoop. Here he takes Davion Mitchell on in isolation and manages to get past him before the help comes from Harrison Barnes, and he rides the bump and gets this finish off. This time he cooks Damian Jones with a crossover before stepping past DiVincenzo and finishing past Chimezie Metu. Here he drives to the paint with Jonathan Kuminga as a trailer attached to him before absorbing the contact from Toscano Anderson and finishing. He's scoring 0.96 points per possession as a pick and roll ball handler, which is better than Trae Young and Luka Doncic. Here he has a bit of a runway and he just burns Cat downhill. In this one he manages to penetrate but has Royce O'Neal on his hip as well as Hassan Whiteside coming to help, and he just splits them and finishes at the hoop. He's also been punishing bigs in a drop as well. Here the Celtics are in horns and then Pritchard and Tice come up and set a double screen. Tatum uses the Tice screen, basically can't get around it, and Poku retreats to cover Tice, which opens up a 3-ball for Tatum. Because he's often guarded by bigger wings, they struggle to navigate screens, and that opens up opportunities for him. Here Dwight Powell ends up on him, and there's no way he's going to keep up with Tatum. The Celtics also torched the Nuggets by setting up the pick high up the court, and that gave Tatum space to pull up like this. He's a very high volume isolation scorer, and his efficiency has been pretty good, but just not quite at that top level. He's not afraid to take cards to the post, and he loves going to this fadeaway jumper, and he is money with it. He's very physical and will bump and nudge smaller guys to create the separation. He'll also just be smaller guys when they're on him. Since January 1st, Tatum has been shooting 38% on pull-up threes, which is right up there with the cream of the crop in the league. This has been really helpful for the Celtics late in the clock, when plays break down and they just need something decent to go up. He often does that by running away from his man to try and get separation before letting these fly. Here the Jazz do a good job of stifling the Celtics offense, preventing them from getting a good shot, but Tatum bails them out with a second left on the shot clock. This one is just a thing of beauty. In general, he's been on fire from beyond the arc. Since the beginning of the year, he's been shooting 38% from 3. This boost in efficiency has contributed to his increase in scoring, because he's taking about the same as earlier in the season, but he's just making more. His volume is still sky high, taking 8.7 per game, which is tied for 7th most in the league. Taking these shots early in the shot clock keeps defenses honest and on their toes. I love his off-ball movement here and the way he sets up the 3. He drifts inside the arc to try and force Bazley into Derek White's screen before popping out to the 3-point line. He'll also hit these shots when he's heavily contested. Luka tried more than a couple times to disrupt him, but it was largely to no avail. This shooting allows him to attack closeouts and score out of these situations. Here the Celtics run some Spain pick and roll, and Tatum is great in that secondary screening role. If you want to know what a Spain pick and roll is, I explained it in my Tyrese Halliburton video. His mid-range game hasn't been very efficient, but he does have the shot in the bag. He loves playing cat and mouse with defenders to try and get these clean looks up. He's also an elite transition scorer, scoring 1.23 points per transition possession, which is 7th in the league. Overall, his 36.7 points per 100 is 11th in the league, and his 39.4 points per 100 since January 1st is 6th in the league. The Celtics are 12.1 points per 100 better when he's on the court, and his offensive EPM is plus 4.5, which is 7th in the league. So his scoring is definitely having an impact. This is especially important when you consider his offensive responsibility with the configuration of the team around him. I think it's safe to say that Tatum has elevated himself into that elite scoring tier. When you consider the variety of shots he can create, his size and speed, his dexterity and quick release on his jumpers, and the position and stress he puts the defenses under, I don't see why Tatum can't be the number 1 option on a championship winning team. Well, that was all for this video. If you did enjoy, please like and tap that like button. And until next time, it has been your boy, Zachary McAllister. Have a good day.